Thanks for tuning in to Amazing Kitchen this week. We're talking about espasol. It is a Filipino dessert that is made of rice flour, similar to what you find in the Chinese culture, like the rice cake, or in the Japanese culture, mochi. So if it's something you enjoy and sounds interesting, then stay tuned and watch this episode. All right, let's get into cooking. To begin making this beautiful dessert, we'll start with glutinous rice flour. In the grocery store, there are usually two types of rice flour. Make sure you say glutinous on it. Then we extract 4 cups of this flour in a separate bowl. Now once that's ready, we can go to our stove. Then we'll heat a non-stick pan or wok so that we can stir fry this flour. We'll add the flour and under low heat and cook this. So make sure you stir this constantly for 10 minutes and not allow it to burn. So this part, you must have some patience. Now once it's close to ready, the color will darken and you will smell that the flour scent has disappeared. Now once that has achieved, you can turn off the heat and remove it into a separate container. We'll transfer this to a container to cool, but be careful, this flour is extremely hot. Careful not to burn yourself. Now while the flour is cooling, we'll transfer 3/4 cup of this cooked flour to a separate container. Now this we will use at the end for coating our espasols. As you can see, the color has changed from raw to cooked flour. It must look a little beige-like once it's ready. Okay, now we can heat a separate pan or wok. Make sure this one is non-stick. Then to it, we'll add 500 ml of coconut cream. I use coconut cream because the flavor is much more concentrated and pungent. But you can use coconut milk as well. Then to it, we'll add 1 can of evaporated milk. Any brand will do, but I'm using Carnation. Then to this mixture, we'll add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1.5 cup of sugar. You can use brown sugar or white sugar. In this case, I'm using white sugar. Then we'll slowly stir this so that the sugar and salt will dissolve in this mixture. Make sure not to bring this up to a boil. We just want to heat this to dissolve all the solids. Now once that's ready, we can add our cooked flour to this mixture. Just stir it in slowly to allow the flour to absorb all the liquid. Now as you're mixing it, it will start to thicken. It'll form a nice consistency and it'll look like a paste. Now continue stirring this regularly on low heat so that it'll come together. Once everything is absorbed, it'll thicken and form into a ball. That's when you know it's ready. Then we can start making our espasols. So we'll just turn off the heat and bring it to our prepping station. Now be careful, the dough is very hot, so proceed with caution. Now this part is where you roll it into the shape of your preferred choice. Usually it's elongated, rectangular shape, but in my case I cut it into nice small little round balls so that it's easy to eat because you can pick it up with your finger, a fork, or even a toothpick. So it's very good for party gatherings. The dough might become a little sticky. If it is, you add some olive oil to your hand and it will help alleviate the problem. Then we'll roll it into a nice tiny ball, preferred choice, about a half an inch across. Then we can coat it with our favorite coating. Now the traditional way is coating it with the cooked flour. But I thought in this case it looks so cute and nice, great for parties. So we're gonna coat 2 other flavors, a total of 3 in this case. So here we just simply coat it, and there's cooked flour, then we have cocoa powder or chocolate powder. Now this will come out resembling like a nice piece of chocolate. And finally, we have matcha powder. Matcha is a Japanese green tea powder. This is very nice, has a little bitterness. It balances the sweetness of the espasol very nicely. So now it's all completed. We plate it and enjoy. Bon appetit! Now that you've seen the recipe, what do you think of it? Have you ever seen something like this before? If you like bubble tea, the tapioca is very similar in texture. It's nice and chewy and soft and not too sweet. So this is espasol. I first came across it when I saw it on this channel called Recipes and Beyond, based off of Dublin, and it's hosted by Pia and Mary. If you haven't heard of them, I'll leave the link below so you can check them out. But I saw this recipe, I gave it a try, and it turned out really tasty. So I thought, why not? I'll make my version of espasol on Amazing Kitchen today. Hope that you enjoy it. And if you do, make sure you like and comment below and subscribe if you haven't yet. So I guess that's about it. Until next time, we'll see you again. Bye now.